Now, the first thing you're going to do is, as soon as you get your tickets, when you go up to the front desk, you need to specify whether or not you need the aisle chair. Now, the aisle chair is it's what it sounds like. It's a chair that transports you from your wheelchair at the gate into the airplane, and it brings you through the aisles to wherever your seat is. Now, for people who are in their wheelchair for reasons other than paralysis, that can be useful. Not everyone needs an aisle chair if you can walk short distances, things like that. So that's your choice to make. I need it sometimes. On good days I don't. So for me personally, I make the decision when I get to the airport. I also want to apologize because I don't have any actual footage to show you of this happening, but hopefully I can explain it well enough that you'll understand. The first thing that's going to happen is they're going to call people to start boarding the plane. So first is small children, disabled people, elderly people, that group of people first, and then they go to first class and all that other stuff. But you're going to be in that first group, and typically if you're in a wheelchair, you get boarded first pretty much no matter what. You'll be waiting in the gate area, and usually someone from the gate will actually come and get you, but if not, you can just go right up to them. This is where it gets a little complicated. They're going to give you a few tags to put on your wheelchair. Most of them will do it for you, so don't worry about that. The first one is just an information tag, and it has, it has your contact information, and it has the type of wheelchair, the weight, whether it's electric or manual, just that type of information. So that goes on the wheelchair, and again, they'll put these tags on for you. And then you're going to get one of these. They might look a little bit different because these just happen to be the ones that JetBlue uses. I don't know if other airlines tickets look a little different. And again, it's just a gate check tag, so it has your exact flight number and your final destination information. I'm 98% sure that these are the same exact tags they use for gate-checked luggage. I think they use the same ones on the wheelchairs. Don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure. And then you're going to head down the large tunnel thing that will bring you to the entrance of the plane. I'm not sure what that thing is called. I really suggest going down the tunnel backwards with one of the flight attendants or the gate people going behind you, because if you don't, you're probably going to face plant where the little tunnel thing drops off. There's 3 or 4 of them throughout the tunnel. You want to be careful of that, because if you do have a low foot plate, you are screwed. So just go down slowly, possibly backwards, and be careful. So once you get to the entrance of the plane, you will do one of 2 things. You will either transfer into the aisle chair, or you will just walk onto the plane and enter your seat. But the important thing to do before that, this is absolutely crucial. You must remove all loose pieces of your wheelchair. Anything that could possibly come off or be removed or fall off during flight needs to be taken off. This is partly for safety, and this is partly also because you really don't want to lose parts of your wheelchair. This may vary upon what type of wheelchair you have. If you're in an electric wheelchair, then I don't know if pieces come off or how that works, but just anything that's removable you want to take off. Personally, what I do is I remove my side guards, my cushion, and then I fold my back down. And aside from that, everything is one solid piece on my wheelchair. So I just take those, and then we put them up in the luggage things above the seats. So once you've removed whatever you need to remove, you either transfer into the aisle chair or you walk into your seat and you settle down. If you are choosing not to use the aisle chair and you're just walking in either with a cane or by yourself or with assistance, you pretty much just get up and go to your seat in the plane. If you are choosing to use the aisle chair, this is kind of frustrating, mostly because a lot of the people that you get don't really know what they're doing. So pretty much what it is it's just a very, very narrow, it's narrow for me and I'm a tiny person. It's a very narrow chair and you sit on it, and then they have these arm things that come up, and then they strap you in across the chest here, and then they strap you in across the legs here. So you are very tightly buckled in, and they are very adamant on buckling you in. There have been a few times where I'm like, no, just put me on the plane, I don't need this, I can stay on the seat, and they're required to do it, mostly because they don't want to be sued if we fall off and die. But that takes, I'd say, probably between 2 to 5 minutes. There have been multiple times where I have had to verbally walk them through what to do and where to put each buckle. It's kind of frustrating because they won't let you do it yourself, they're required to do it for you. But once you're in there, then what they do is they sort of turn you around and they will back you into the plane. So they have one person pulling you from behind, and then they have another person come up and lift the foot thing, and they literally lift you onto the plane, and then they back you in through the aisle and let you off wherever you sit. We always get let off directly at the front because with Bugsy we need bulkhead seating. And they unbuckle, and then you can either transfer yourself or they'll have someone help you transfer if you're not able to. And then they leave. So the aisle chair is definitely a hassle, but it's also a lifesaver for those who need it. Oh! The other thing I forgot to tell you is that you're going to get this. It's just like a little receipt. It kind of like when you go to the carousel to retrieve your luggage, and then if something were to happen to your luggage, then you have that. So it's not really necessary, but just hold on to this, and as soon as you get off the plane, you can throw it away because it's not like you need to go to the carousel. Your wheelchair is going to be waiting right there for you. Okay, so when the plane lands, essentially it's going to be the same exact thing. They will either bring out the aisle chair for you and re-strap you in, or you will walk out. For some reason, when they're exiting the plane, they don't turn you around, they keep you going straight. So again, it's going to be someone pushing from behind. And then there's going to be someone in front for when the plane drops off to meet at like the gate thing. It's usually like a 3 or 4 inch drop. So then there's going to be someone, they're going to lift you and then like place you down. And then your wheelchair should be right there. They're pretty good about asking like, what do you want us to do? Personally, I'm pretty independent about this, so I just ask them to roll the wheelchair next to me and then put the brakes on, and then I put back all my pieces. That's the other thing, is you want to grab your removable pieces from the overhead luggage thing before you exit the plane. I don't do that. Usually my mom or my dad will grab it for me. Whoever I'm flying with will grab it for me, and if I'm flying alone, then the flight attendants are really great about helping you get stuff out from up there. But yeah, so exit the plane, just put your stuff back together. So yeah, and then just put the pieces back in and be on your way. That's the other thing I want to say is, at least personally in my experience, I've always had them be very helpful, patient, not condescending at all, which was really nice. I've only ever flown 2 airlines with my wheelchair so far. I've flown JetBlue, which has been amazing, and I've flown United. I've only flown them once, but my experience with them was wonderful as well. However, I highly recommend JetBlue just because it's what we've always flown, and not only are they great with the wheelchair, but they're also wonderful with Bugsy. I have heard a few stories of wheelchairs being damaged when they're gate checked, but I haven't experienced it myself. I'm not sure what to say or, what I would do if something like that happened, but I can personally say that I've flown a bunch of times now, and I've never had any bad experiences with the wheelchair. I would have loved to be able to show you guys everything, but, it's really hard to do that when you're in the middle of actually trying to get on a real flight. You don't want to keep passengers waiting, and my mom doesn't know how to work the camera and everything, so, hopefully I helped you understand a little bit more of what to expect when this happens. It's really not that bad. A lot of it just depends on the people you get.